Alright, welcome to another episode of Clean Hand Mechanic. Today we're going to be changing the wheel speed sensor, rear, specifically the left rear on this vehicle. Wheel speed sensor on the 2016 Hyundai Sonata. We're going to start off by jacking the car up and placing the vehicle on jack stands. Keep rolling. All right, when looking for a jack point, it's kind of important. It's simple, but it's somewhat important. So here you can see these two markings here shows you where your jack stand is gonna rest. It's clear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack the car up over to the left enough where I got space to bring my jack stand in and rest right here once I remove it. So over to the left about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 inches. And that's where I want to jack it up from. And just gonna place the weight of the car down on the jack stand. I usually keep my jack there if I can. That's just an extra measure of safety for me. From there, gonna be using a 21mm socket. I got a gun. Simply move the tire, place it off to the side. If you don't have an impact gun like I'm using, and you have to take the tires off the old-fashioned way with a four-way or something of that nature, just make sure you do it with the weight of the vehicle somewhat on the car so it can resist it, and then you can jack it up and loosen them the rest of the way. All right, for the next portion of the repair, I'm gonna be using two things. Use a 14mm socket, 14, and a very small extension, which I like to call the baby. All right, and I'm gonna be taking 4 bolts off. The 2 for the caliper, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then also gonna be, let me shine the light, the sunset on the light. Okay, and then the other 2 are gonna be for the bracket, the caliper bracket. This guy, and then the lower one right there. These 2, all 14mm bolts. All right, I'm gonna start with the caliper bolts. Like I said before, 14mm. That Once you break them free, you can pretty much just twist them off with your fingers. Okay, just wiggle that guy off, and you see how the piston is extended. I like to just go ahead and push that piston back in right away. As I'm looking at this, I kind of see that the brake pads are low. So I think I'm gonna replace the rear brake pads. It's something I just stumbled upon. See these clips? You gotta use these when you replace the brakes. So remember how they go on. Keep those. Brake pads really low, so we're gonna change them. But I got a little device I use to push the brake pads back in. You can also use a C-clamp. Push the old one in, old brake pad in, just squeeze it till it goes all the way back in. Quick little tool, worth its money. All right, got that pushed back in. I'll take the other brake pad off. Sometimes you gotta use a screwdriver to kind of pry it out. Go. And then, let's see how long this is. I'm gonna move this off to the side. And then we're gonna get the bracket bolts. Again, 14 millimeters. All right, pretty good. Same thing here. Starting to loosen up. Bracket off. Next, we're going to remove the rotor. Now, you can see, I'll try to show you, there's 2 screws holding the rotor in place. See right there? Just the Phillips head. 1, 2. So I'm going to start, grab a screwdriver, and remove those first. All right, there's a little tool I like to use. This guy. All right, it comes with a set of these. It's used to remove, specifically to remove these bolts without ever stripping them. Sometimes they're in there kind of tough. It actually flexes and twists the bolt out without breaking it. And all you do is put it in place and hit it with a hammer. Very useful tool. So once I go through here, choose the right size, Phillips head, place it inside like so. All right, and then place it in there, tap it, and then it'll come right out. Same thing for the other one. Press it in there, tap it, one tap, that's all it took, and it's out. That's it. For that, wiggle the rotor off. All right, now I'm trying to get you a view. So this is the actual wheel speed sensor itself. This is the connector. Hold on. This is the connector that connects to it. That round thing there, circular. Let's see if I can get a better view. There, that's the wheel speed sensor. These 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3 on that side, and 4 on the top right. Those are the next 4 bolts that I'm gonna take out. That's gonna remove the hub. It's those are also 4mm. So I'm gonna use 14mm. I'm sorry, not 4, 14mm. I'm gonna use that and the baby extension that I mentioned earlier and showed earlier. No, don't do that, man. I got everything separated for a reason. Faucet. Okay, so I got all 4 of the bolts out. You see the whole thing's about to come out. I gotta take off this clip. I'm just gonna pop this up. Hold on to that. Now I can remove the connector. Okay, so I do that. Separate the hub. And this is the actual thing I'm trying to replace, the wheel speed sensor. Is it in the view? The wheel speed sensor is on the back of the hub. I'm gonna let that hang. All right, so here it is. This is the hub that we're trying to remove. You can see the wheel speed sensor there. All right, here's the new one. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the screwdriver to pop this one off, and I'm gonna tap this one back on with a mallet. All right, so sometimes when I struggle with something, one thing I like to do is take a look at the new one, see if I can get any ideas. So what I'm seeing when I look at the new one is this metal. So I'm prying that this plastic right here, but I'm seeing that this metal shows me that it's down in the hub. What I need to do is get it moving away from the hub. That's gonna allow me to take it off. So I'm gonna try just tapping it outward and try to gain a little separation. Once I do that, I'll get it off of the hub. Try something new. So I'm gonna struggle for this. Let's see. Or, yeah, that should work. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Had to go down in it and get it to pop right out. go. Now, new one. I'm gonna use a rubber mallet. See, it's plastic. I don't want to damage it. I'm just gonna use a rubber mallet. I'm just gonna place it down. Trying to do it evenly. I'm gonna try some lubrication. See, I had to use something a little stronger. I'm using the wood in the hopes that I won't damage the plastic. So, there we are. Your arm flush. All right, we're gonna go over to the car and reinstall now. All right, to this point, I'm just gonna put everything back together in reverse order. Bring this guy up. Yep. Okay, first, let's do this. Put the clip back in. Make sure that the connector is on the bottom. And line the bolt holes up. Reinsert the connector. Just click once it's actually in place. The bolts are already back there. I'm starting by hand. Started falling off yet. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna use my gun. Get all four started, tighten them all down completely now. Oh no, my gun died. Damn. Alright. Fine. So I gotta go the rest of the way by hand. Three. All right. Next, reinstall the rotor. Make sure you line up the bolts where the screw has to return to. Put the two screws back in. Put our caliper back on, caliper bracket. Two 14mm sockets. Same thing. My band just died. I'm going by hand. Go. Next two brake pads. Actually, I'm actually gonna hold off because I gotta replace the brake pads. So let me get that and then I'll finish my video. All right, I can finish up the repair. I got my brakes now. First thing I'm gonna do is remove the old brake hardware. Let's see. And pop that off with a screwdriver. Boom. Slide the new one right on. Press it down into place. Oh, go ahead. Same thing with the top side. Pop it off. There's the new hardware into place. Make sure it's lined up straight, or else it'll scrape against the rotor. After that, you want to use your lubricant or for the contact points of the brake pad. Wherever the brake pad touches, that's the part that you lubricate. Any contact point that you have. Alright. Slide them in there. Same thing for the front. Alright, and if you remember, we had pins that had to be replaced. Spring clips. Okay, after that, top of the caliper. Remember, Gotta lubricate your contact points again. Wherever your contact points are. Just the light amount. Place this on. Remember, on the way out, I already pushed the caliper piston back in. And then place the bolts. And tighten them down. 14 millimeters again. That's it. From there, what we're gonna do is reinstall the tire. And take it off the jack stands.